Hi, thanks for tuning in. Today I want to share what I picked up from the spring-summer collections that have recently dropped in the boutiques. In particular, I picked up items from Dior and Chanel that I want to share. I have been eyeing some of the pieces, but I've been kind of slow in picking them up because if you watched my wish list video, I shared that there are some other pieces from spring summer. I think they're going to be Act 2 that I'm waiting on, so I didn't go like too crazy. I just wanted to quickly share what I picked up. This, I guess, is going to be the first haul of 2020, not that I'm trying to keep track. Unlike the collections that these are from, the weather is rather cloudy today, so I hope the lighting's okay. I want to start off with Dior. I think this segment should just be called Rochelle Made Me Do It. Like, just have the hashtag just like sitting there the whole time, because I have Rochelle to thank for both of these items. And the first one I'm going to share is the limited edition Forever Perfect cushion that came out from Dior Makeup. And I believe this is a limited edition for spring summer. It was only dropped in Asia and Europe, so you can imagine I had a difficult time trying to get it. But Rochelle and I were like chatting on Instagram about this. I even sent like Dior Makeup an like an Instagram DM being like, look, I'm like really interested in these, but like, how do I get them? They ignored me. But this is in that limited edition Diorama print, and so it looks like this. And how awesome does it look? It has a canvas top. It's a little like puffy. It's like a little cushion. It says Christian Dior in the blue oblique, which is awesome. I managed to snag the color 1N, which I think is a good match for my skin tone. I use cushions a lot. I've used them for like years. I think Korean cosmetics companies were the first to kind of invent this methodology, if you will. So I have tried the YSL one, and now I'm trying this one, and I really like it. I think the 1N is a good color if you typically wear like a 21 in the Korean brands for their cushions. If you wear about a 21, I think the 1N would be a good color. If you're like a 20, then you should go for the one that's lighter. And if you are a 23 and darker, then there's a 2N and a 3N that come after this as well. But having said all of that, that's if you can get your hands on these. I picked them up from Harrods thanks to Rochelle letting me know, but I checked back today and they took them off the website again because I think they sold out. So it might be something to look out for. If you're able to access them in Asia, then I think some of the Asian markets have them available. You might be able to find them online. So that's just a general reference. This is what the cushion looks like. It's a navy packaging and it looks like this. And you can see there is a massive mirror, which I really like. And I'm pretty convinced this mirror is like half magnifying because, like I said, I've used a lot of cushions before, and I just put this up and I looked at my face, and it's like boom, like you can see everything, which is nice. So you just pop this open and there's the cushion on the inside. You use the puff that comes with it to dab and put it all over your face. For those who may not be familiar, cushions tend to be refillable, and so you're able to purchase just the refill, which is the foundation part of it. I would just like push in the center here, push up, and then they pop out like this. And just for fun, I pulled out some other like fun cases that I have. This is a 3CE cushion that came out, I want to say a couple summers ago, and it was just so cute. It looked like a Polly Pocket. They had like this whole like summer seashell-y collection, so I picked this up from there. And I brought this out because I wanted to share that inside is actually the Hera black cushion. I used up the 3CE one, and I don't think you're able to just get the refill. You have to like buy the whole cushion. And because I like the Hera coverage, I switched it out to this one. So this is just to show that you're able to oftentimes pop other brands into an existing case because it works in the same way. There's a little gap, so you'll see there's like a little divot here, but I don't really mind that, so I use it like that. I know you can just get the refills for this. I was curious to see whether another cushion could fit inside the case, so just for fun I'm going to try. But I'm looking at this shape of this, and I'm pretty sure the high-end brands don't make their cases like interchangeable with other brands just because of exclusivity reasons. So I don't think this is going to fit. It like kind of, no, it won't close. If you can see that. It like lays in there nicely. The Hera cushion like lays in there. It doesn't click, but it lays in there. But it's too thick for the Christian Dior. So that's not going to work. Not to say that there aren't other cushion brands that could fit, but if I had to imagine, I'm sure Dior made it so that you can't just pop in someone else's cushion into their case. But anyway, I was really excited that I was able to pick this up, and I'm really excited to be using it. So I'm gonna stick to Dior and share the other pieces that I picked up. I know I'm really late to the game, but I've like recently gotten into Instagram stories. It's like kind of embarrassing how late I am. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to see more things like real time because I like to post them on Instagram. And so you may have seen that I posted a little sneak peek of something that I picked up. It is completely one of those Rochelle made me do it kind of things because let me show you first. So in this bag back here was this item. It is this like sheer oblique t-shirt that Rochelle has the same one herself, and I think it was her best and worst 2019 that she shared that this was one of her best purchases. I loved it. I saw it on her and I was like, oh wow, like I would really like one of those too. But I knew these were from an older season, so I didn't know if I could even still get them from the store. I even actually looked online to see if there were any, and I wasn't like having a lot of luck. So I was just like, oh, okay, it's one of those items, maybe if I see it, I'll get it. But I didn't know if I'd ever get my hands on it. Lo and behold, my boyfriend and I stopped by the boutique to pick up what he purchased from the spring-summer collection, the Daniel Arsham collection. And we're like browsing the men's section, and my boyfriend's like, isn't this what you were looking for? And it straight up was hanging on the rails. I was like, what? And so we found out that this is actually carryover from seasons prior, but I guess the boutiques were sent the overstock inventory that they had left, and they thought it would look good with the spring summer 2020 items, so they sent them back out so that they can hit the floors again. And so I was really stoked about that. They only had smaller sizes left. There was an extra small that was hanging, and then this is actually a small, which I don't really consider myself to be a size small, but A, this is menswear. Even in menswear, I tend to go kind of large, but B, Dior's men's t-shirts actually run pretty large. Their sweatshirts run kind of small, but their t-shirts run kind of large. So that's just to keep in mind especially if you're like a woman and you're trying to get menswear, sometimes that can like really throw you off. So just as a general reference. But yeah, I was really stoked to see this in the store. I tried it on and I was like, oh gosh, okay, fine. I think I need to have this now because I don't know when I'm going to be able to run across it ever again. And like, it was just really, really cute. So I picked this up. So there's actually one more item to share from Dior. This is something that my boyfriend had picked up from the spring summer 20 men's collection. It's the Daniel Arsham collaboration. He's also getting another piece, but it hasn't come to the store yet, so we haven't been able to pick that up. Not to mention, I actually pre-ordered a Rimowa piece that I'm still waiting for. Apparently it's taking a little bit longer than some of the other pieces that have already made it. So I'm still waiting for that piece, and I'll share that once I get that because I think those are all technically part of like spring summer 2020. But my boyfriend picked up this card holder. It is in the like newspaper print. I'm gonna try to get closer so you can see. There you go. It's in the newspaper print like this, and what we actually really liked was that it's like split open on this side. So typically card holders that have this kind of form are also stitched down here, so you have like a really restricted, it's still a card holder, but like or a card slot, but it's like kind of restrictive. This one kind of lets you put some bigger items in there and like it could stick out. Like we just felt like this is like a really convenient option. So my boyfriend's going to be using this. He wants to interchange it with his larger like Hermes. It's a card wallet still, but he uses that as his full-size wallet, so he wants to interchange between the two when he doesn't need to carry as much stuff. For spring summer, the color themes are like this newspaper. They have also a hot pink, and I also saw like a very light pink, which was also very pretty. So I think they're all in the same kind of split style. And I think this is really good, like bang for your buck if you're looking to add a small leather good to your collection. I am personally not a huge fan of this newspaper print. I believe it's when John Galliano was at Dior when he like really made this print and like a whole collection out of it. I'm not a huge fan. I feel like it's a little too much for me like in terms of incorporating it, but I like it in this actual like small SLG because it's not taking up so much space and it doesn't seem as loud. Okay, so that's everything from Dior, and then as we are able to collect some of the other pieces, I'll share those along the way. So I'll move on to Chanel. There's actually this one item here that isn't from the Spring Summer 2020 collection, but I still wanted to share. So these are actually a pair of earrings from a past collection that I missed out on. And let me share the earrings first, and then I'll share the story behind them. So these are them. They are these CC with like a flower dangling, and then there's like a imitation pearl on the inside. So the story behind these is these are actually part of the 2016 cruise. That particular year, the cruise collection was done in Korea. It's the Paris Seoul cruise collection. And I'm Korean, if you didn't know. When that collection was running, I was able to see it. Like I watched the whole runway show. I saw the collection pieces, but I was not in any place where I could just like walk in and like buy items from that collection. So fast forward to now, where I remembered about this collection, and I periodically check like the Real or the other secondhand websites to see if there are some of that collection that come available. And I was either interested in getting a ready-to-wear piece or maybe like a small accessory. I know there were some handbags that came out in that collection that are gorgeous, but I don't know if I really want to add another handbag like that. So I was leaning more towards the ready-to-wear and the jewelry. And that's where I came across this, and I found it on eBay. It was in brand new condition. Felt like this was pretty iconic for me to reference that collection, and I liked that it wasn't heavily embellished, and it's really substantial. I'm actually really impressed with it because I don't think they make them the same, honestly, and I know hasn't been that long since 2016 cruise would have hit, but I still feel like there's some changes. Like it's not the same. I just really like these. These are like nice and heavy, not in an overweighted way, but in like they're very like a nice quality kind of way. So I'm really stoked to add these to my collection. You will probably see me style these a lot. And then now for the grand piece that's in this box right here. It is something that I shared on Instagram on my stories. I was asking you which one you guys preferred. It was like 40 to 60 split on the navy or the black Deauville, so I want to share. Now I already said what it is, but I want to share which one I decided to pick up and why. Done! So I actually picked up the navy Deauville. This is, I believe, in the small size. And so the black one that I was also looking at is in the large size, and then there's an even larger extra large size on top of that. This was the one that hit the 40%. So I know this may not have been the obvious choice, and believe me, it wasn't the obvious choice for me either. When I've been thinking about adding a Deauville to my collection for years now, I have looked across a lot of the collections to try to find a color that I would like, a color combo that I would like, or a fabric that I would like, and I have looked from the standard canvas to the more like wool type to the denim fabric. I've seen like a whole bunch of them, and I was always looking at the large, and then there was one time I was looking at the extra large. So it's been a few years in the coming, honestly, for me to find the right one. I hadn't really contemplated this small size, to be honest. I didn't know it really came in the canvas. I've seen this size like in the leather version that has the studded Chanel. I think that's gorgeous as well, but also something that's not quite for me. Like, I'm not looking for the Deauville tote style to be something that is like a heavy leather bag. I want it to be something that I can just like really wear around all day, every day, and like kind of throw around all over the place, and then really be able to use it for travels. When I saw this size, I was very pleasantly surprised. It seems like an excellent everyday bag. And when I saw this color with the very subtle stripes here, it was also very nice. It's a very, very nice navy blue. I would say it's a little bit on the lighter side of a navy. Like if you imagine Chanel navy, I think we all think of slightly darker, almost like this tone, but a little bit darker navy. So this is, I would say it's a little bit on the brighter side for a navy, but it's still a really gorgeous color. I'm usually not a fan of like gold hardware, but I liked this combo. I was impressed with the compartments on the inside. I mean, there's a zipper pocket back here. There's a slip pocket in the front, or there are two slip pockets in the front like that. But this seemed like a really good size where I could use it for everyday and for travel instead of the large size, which I would really only be able to use for travel. So that's why I decided to go for this size. I know the Deauvilles at least the large sizes seem to lose their shape a little bit. I'll keep you posted on how this size tends to hold up, but I can already see like the sides here will need a little bit of help. And I feel like this got a little squished in the box. But this is the Deauville that has made it to my collection. All right, so that's everything. I hope you enjoyed this haul, sharing what I picked up from the Spring Summer 2020 collection and beyond. There were some older items, but they're all new to me. If you would like to see more of a follow-up video that shares like why I picked that particular Deauville and how I get along with it, then let me know in the comments down below, and I will plan to do that follow-up video soon. And then I'll also share the other Dior pieces as soon as I'm able to get my own hands on them, because they are taking a little bit longer than expected to get to me. But if you have any questions on any of the items here, then please leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Sunday. And if you'd also like to see more like styling shots and see like what's happening more day to day, then please follow me on Instagram. I think that's more of a real-time platform where I can interact with all of you. So until next time, bye!